Welcome to episode 325 of the Working Fans Podcast. It's the man called Dave. It's producer Joe. We're here to talk wrestling, and we've been slow rolling our Patreon, which, Dave, I watched the Combat Cast. It's patreon.com/Working Fans Podcast. We got a $1 tier. Just if you want to support us, you get that, and you'll get our OWR footage. And if we do any other wrestling footage that we can show you. And the $5 tier, that's our complete unedited episodes. You'll get bonus segments, a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to be filling it up more and more. It's still December, so we're kind of slow rolling it. January, we're going to do the full push, try and get people to sign up. And also,
kinds of goodies.
Go over to the New Heights Wrestling YouTube page. NHW Pro episode 2 is out, and we're excited for this. We've put a lot of work into it. It's been a little project that's been slowly coming along for us, and we're excited for you to finally see it. Dave, you hit me with this news this morning. I didn't read this article, so you could explain it to me like a dummy. Netflix is buying WBD. Right. Dave, give me the details.
WBD is up for sale, or had been up for sale. Warner Brothers Discovery. Basically, Warner Brothers Discovery, how it relates to the wrestling circle is they own HBO, TBS, TNT is all part of that. Obviously, AEW is on all of that. Netflix airs WWE. Obviously, internationally, they air pretty much everything WWE, I believe. And obviously, in the States, they air Monday Night Raw. So it'll be fascinating to see how this is going to affect AEW in particular. Like, I think some people will worry, is Warner Brothers just going to get rid of, or is Netflix, I guess in this case, when they buy, it's going to get rid of AEW. I would kind of assume not, at least not initially. I would think whatever contracts, I think they're going to have a lot to figure out. As a comic book fan, DC Comics, all those movies and stuff like that are coming out with, that's all under Warner Brothers. So we'll see how that all plays out and stuff too. But it's just going to be massive. And if you're like me and you have a Netflix streaming, you're streaming on Netflix and you're streaming HBO Max, how's that going to affect each other eventually, right? Is that all going to be under one thing?
That was going to be my next question. Are they going to be getting rid of Max? Will they keep it? Because Welcome to Derry is on Max, like you said, all the DC stuff. Do you think that they would get rid of AEW? Because I would think the more variety of wrestling content you have, the better. And there's a lot of stuff on Netflix, so it's not even like there's a competition.
It all depends on how they want to run it. If they want to run it and streamline everything, and they're going to get rid of a bunch of shit, then maybe. But if you want to run it as two separate entities, and Netflix is this, which I think personally sounds great, but what do I know? I don't know the dynamics of it all. Then why not? You can cash in on whatever Warner Brothers is making for you. And then, that could be like a separate, right? Like a separate department, essentially, right? You have your Warner Brothers Discovery department. That's making X amount, and AEW is included in that, and DC. And then you got whatever else Netflix is doing. Now, does WWE have exclusive rights on Netflix? Well, maybe Netflix, yeah, but, this is a new thing. Netflix owns Warner Brothers. So we'll see. I would not say that I wouldn't hit the panic button or anything yet. But I would say we probably don't know what's going on, because it's so early that they probably don't even know what they're going to do. Like,
the news just came out this morning. I heard it's going to be like another year and a quarter till like changes even take effect.
Absolutely. So AEW is probably not even on the top of their radar of things to do. So in that case, that's kind of good. So hopefully, I would say ideally AEW becomes a strong program, and I don't know what's considered a strong program, and for like ratings and stuff like that. Hopefully though that they keep doing well and everything is doing well at AEW, and maybe they'll look at AEW as a viable option. They'll want to keep it on Warner Brothers as a separate entity from WWE, and wrestling companies will be strong because a lot of moving going on this week with wrestling companies.
WWE content is going to start leaving Peacock. Yeah, apparently, I saw somebody said there's like a counter underneath programming saying how long it's got left up there. You watch a lot of Peacock. Is that happening?
I don't know if that's happening. I read that. I don't know, but I did notice that. I was watching something the other day. I want to say it was an In Your House. I was actually going back to watch some In Your Houses, and I was going to watch the first one, and it said this one is leaving in 28 days. And so I thought, okay, that's interesting. But Netflix has stuff like that too, with just regular shows. It'll say like leaving soon. So I thought to myself, that could just be something they're doing because they added a lot of ECW content within the last few months, before a lot of stuff went change and everything like that, maybe in the last year. So I thought to myself, that could also mean they're going to bring different things in. Now,
They got that WWE Vault on YouTube they do a lot with.
There's plenty of reason to believe that this could actually be leaving Peacock. It's a shame, but I wouldn't be shocked. That being said, there is so much misinformation right now in the wrestling space, it seems like. Like, people just, if this makes sense, you'll just say it, and there's no source, and it seems to get traction at times. So I did not see anything from a reputable place but I did see the same stuff that you did, like on social media and stuff like that.
Yeah, I hadn't seen anything reputable. That's why I kind of asked about it, because I saw a post on social media, and I was wondering kind of like how that worked. I know a lot of people are worried about a lot of that old footage going away.
I bet you
it's happening in the digital age with all these streaming sites, but it's up in the air right now. I think people get worried about losing what they like.
If I almost would bet that people probably saw the same thing I did, leaving in 28 days, and they probably just were like, "Oh, it's going, it's out the door, we're done, fucking done. Report it now." And it's like, wow. Maybe. Yeah,
because it's been weird how the WWE, a whole separate thing, but like their PLEs are on ESPN, and we'll get to some talk later on about PLEs and all that. But interesting discussion, interesting news to wake up to this morning. Not the only news we had this week, because it's long been rumored that TNA was working on getting a TV deal. This week, it was announced that they signed with AMC. This was something that I took a more skeptical approach to. I messaged you earlier in the week trying to see, if this was true, and then it has come out as true. They're staying on Thursdays. What do you make of this?
I think it's a great deal for TNA Wrestling, and I'm actually just looking this up now. I was curious because I saw an interview with Carlos Da Silva, and how AMC was like the right team for them, and everything was good, but they asked about streaming, and TNA, besides being on TNA Digital Plus and stuff like that, they are going to be on AMC Plus as well. So, and you can see live episodes streaming simultaneously with TNA Impact or whenever they air. So, because not every episode is going to be live with TNA Impact, but that is only $6.99 a month for ad supported. With ad free, $9.99 a month. I would tell anybody it's not terrible at all. This is my thing. I've learned this now with Peacock and WWE. When you don't have ads, they're basically just running old wrestling video yets that you don't even really care about. Just don't even pay for the fucking ad-free shit. It's not worth it, because they're going to put something else there just to stall your time. And you're like, why are they not doing it? It's because that's where the ads are.
Yeah. And it's the thing where a lot of people have that short attention span where they don't want ads. Right. You and I grew up with ads, so like I almost don't mind a nice little commercial break, because like I just turn my mind off for a second. I dick around on my phone. When the action's back on, it's back on. I was talking about this at work with somebody last night, because they are excited that TNA got a deal, but then AMC is the one channel they don't get. And they brought up the fact that they could get AMC Plus and watch it. And knowing that it's that good a price, I think a lot more people could check out TNA. I hope it works out for them.
I'm getting rid of Sling soon, because we talked about this. No offense to Sling, great product, but it's $60 a month right now that I'm paying. And I think I can get a cheaper version, but then I probably wouldn't get the stuff that I wanted. Whereas, like, I'm a UFC fan, so I'm looking at with Paramount Plus, it's going to be like 12 something a month, I want to say. But I can get this AMC Plus, I'm going to get them both for just under $20, and I'm still saving $40. So, it's kind of like, yeah, this is a good deal, and that's how I'm going to. Because my first thought too was like, how am I going to watch TNA wrestling? Because I want to see TNA now that it's going to be, going live, and they're going to have this platform. All that considered, it's a great price. I'm glad they're doing this, and I want to say TNA Impact Plus. If you want that, I think they have a $9.99 a month deal as well. So you could go for that. It's $3 more a month, but I think they're also going to be streaming simultaneously as well. So you could go there, get that, and with that, you're getting a whole catalog of TNA wrestling events, archived too. So that might be a fun way to do it.
Yeah, I've dabbled in TNA Plus. Not a bad app, but I feel bad because it's always the app that gets the axe when it's like, what can I cut back on?
Yeah,
AMC is not bad too because you get the AMC catalog. I believe Breaking Bad was on there. I want to say this show. They have a variety of shows that you're getting other stuff for your $6.99 a month. So really adding to the value of all that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just excited to see TNA get this opportunity and to see what happens with them. But, we talked before, just to kind of like throw a little thing about misinformation and stuff out there. We were just talking about that as related to Peacock and who knows. But this is what it made me think of that because like with this, people were quick to say, oh, this ends the relationship with TNA and WWE. And it was like quite the opposite. And Carl Cecil was like the first thing he said. No, he said that although from a day-to-day business, they had to, work with AMC and they didn't get any help from WWE. It was working relationship with WWE that helped put them on the map and got them all this momentum. And they're quite sure helped put them in this position to go with AMC. So, and it's like they're not, deteriorating that. And if anything, it's like they're looking at it as they could also get a chance for NXT stars to get another big platform like AMC to be on too. So it's a win. But it's like, boy, that information, people are just quick to say something and kind of run with it these days.
I don't think it's going to end the relationship. I don't doubt that the relationship changes a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little less heavy and maybe it stays the same. We won't know until we see. Overall, who's made out better in this deal? I think we've had this question before, but you've seen the big stars go to WWE. You had Jordan Grace. This week, it was officially announced that Joe Hendry's there. But TNA gets this TV deal. They get more exposure. So even though in the beginning it seemed like it was lopsided for WWE, it feels more even now that TNA is getting on a bigger platform.
Yeah, TNA's definitely get the better deal here. WWE gets stuff out of this deal. Like they have a chance for a lot of their younger wrestlers to go elsewhere and kind of work with, veteran performers and get some much needed experience. And now that they're going to be on AMC, it is another good platform for especially their young wrestlers to be on too, maybe people to discover them. So that's cool. But ultimately, you got to say, I think Carl Silva, the president of TNA, would be the first to say too that the WWE has been really, really helpful for them.
Yeah, it's been huge. And before we get to the main NXT talk we've got this week, we've got a couple other topics. I'm going to start off because I just listened to a post recap of Dynamite. I have not watched Dynamite this week, but I've got to say that the Continental Classic has had me checking in on Dynamite. Some great matches. One thing I got to say is Pac just looks over muscular now. I watched his match the other night with Mike Bailey. Great match on Collision, but he is jacked. I love that the Continental Classic comes this time of year. It gives that bigger feel to the shows. Have you been keeping up with the tournament and how have you been enjoying it?
Yeah, I mean, the matches have been good. They're usually always very good with this. There's an injury right now to Darby Allin, who lost to Kevin Knight last week. And so they're going to have an update on Collision this week. So we'll see if Darby's going to be out of the tournament because I guess it is a legit injury, but nobody seems to really know. I'm looking at the current stats here for the Blue League. And right now, as of today, it looks like Claudio has got 6 points, Takeshita 3, and Moxley 3. And you have Strong, Okada, and Cassidy at 0. I think Okada just won, though. So I think he's at 3 now. So this might not be completely updated. But yeah, so interesting to know. Oh, no. Wait, who am I looking at here? Oh, this is great television. I'm sorry. That was Mascara Dorada. The print was small, so he's at 0. That would be accurate. And then over in the Gold League, the leader is Kyle Fletcher with 6 points. I'm sure this is all going to change. Pac has 3, Okada has 3, and Kevin Knight has 3 as well.
Yeah, that Claudio win was big on Wednesday. A lot of people making a lot of him beating Moxley. Yeah. The same week that he won the CMLL Heavyweight Championship. So big things for Claudio. I like AEW feels big right now. We're getting into our year-end talk, and I think this time last year, I can't remember exactly how we felt about AEW. We might have been a little harder on them, because they just felt like they hit that rut.
Yeah.
But like they've had a good half a year of, really good talk about their programming and just things working out well for them. They always deliver on pay-per-view. It's great to see AEW finally getting talked about in a better light.
Yeah, I've definitely been enjoying AEW a lot more within the last 6 months, I would say.
Yeah, even if I'm not watching it week to week, I keep up with the reviews. I check in on matches that are big. But I wanted to shout out the Continental Classic because it's the best and one of the best end of the year parts of wrestling. We are a week away from John Cena's last match. A lot has been made about this last Saturday night's main event. A lot's been talked about just about Cena retiring in general. We are almost to the end of this tournament. How you been enjoying the tournament? Has it been going the way you thought?
Yes. Yeah, short answer is yes. I think I just kind of went with, what the predictions were out there that Gunther was probably going to win this. We are down to Gunther and LA Knight. I think LA Knight is a good dark horse pick. I'm going to stick with Gunther. But the tournament's had a lot of fun matches. I think Penta got legit injured. We know now. And that caused Solo Sikoa to win and ended up being Solo and Gunther. And I think Gunther and Solo just had a regular hoss matches, like you would like to say. And man, like that ended up being a lot of fun this past week on Raw. So, Gunther is very underrated, I think, sometimes. Like, he's one of the best wrestlers out there. People know it. But sometimes when people talk about the best wrestlers, it's always, it's a Will Ospreay, it's an AJ Styles, it's people like that, right? But, man, you took like a guy like Gunther. Maybe it's not as flashy, but every match to me is either good or great.
Yeah, a good hoss fight like Snakebite versus Scarface Waylon Barley for that Anytime Anywhere championship. I love seeing Gunther go this far. Do you think there's a chance that LA Knight upsets Gunther?
Yeah, I think it's a good dark horse pick. Like I said, I think it's a chance. But gun to my head, I'm going to pick Gunther. Like, Gunther's the man. And then I'm going to kind of say that Cena might end up getting the win. Like, they might want Cena to go out on top, but I can see either way.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Gunther. I don't see Cena winning in his last match, but you never know. They could surprise us. What's really going to be interesting to me on that is the WWE versus NXT matches. When are those getting announced?
Yeah, nothing's been announced so far. I'm going to just take a little peek here. So
yeah, you would think it would make for good TV on possibly NXT this week. Spread it out over NXT, Raw, and SmackDown even. Find a way to draw it out. You've got that big John Cena interview coming out also this week.
Yeah, is that tonight? Is that coming out? Or is that?
I forget when it is. I want to say, I think it was after Saturday night's main event, but I could be wrong.
Okay. I thought they might do it beforehand. Interesting.
So you couldn't find anything. Yeah.
Announced so far. No.
It's going to be a good concept, though. It's going to get people to tune in. So we are excited for that. And we are also excited for this weekend's premium live event, Deadline. Deadline each year is an exciting show. Since that year, we saw it in Bridgeport. I think we really got into the Iron Survivor challenges. And you can see that from these Iron Survivor challenges, you almost get like the next big WWE star, it seems.
Hey, Joe, how about this? I'll throw a wild card out there. You can just say I'm wrong and we'll do it. All right. Do it right here live. We're not live. We're going to edit this.
Live to tape, baby. Unless this gets cut.
How about if we get a Patreon member right before that NXT deadline? One time limited only. One of us will be here. One of us will be there. You can come on and do the show. God damn it.
If we got somebody to sign up for Patreon that wants to watch NXT Deadline with us, we will figure out a different way to get these boxes in. That's a nice little promotional push. That gives me an idea. We're going to have to start brainstorming how to pump up this Patreon, by the way, but not a bad idea. But what we're going to do here, 100%. We don't even need a Patreon member for this. We're going to make some predictions. We're going to shock the world. Dave, give me this card.
All right, baby. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about, we got 5 matches, and we know we got some Iron Survivor Challenge, But before we get to those, let's talk about the North American title being defended. Double champ himself, Ethan Page, defending against Mr. Iguana.
This is a tough one. I feel Mr. Iguana has gotten some feature time on on WWE TV, has become a fan favorite. Ethan Page is huge. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say Mr. Iguana gets it done, and he ends the year with an NXT championship.
That's a great surprise. I will not. I'm going Ethan Page all the way, baby. But next match. Tatum Paxley versus Izzy Dame. Izzy Dame just turned on Tatum Paxley, costed a women's championship. It's interesting. Where will they go here? Is this to help keep, Izzy Dame and she's with Spears and the calling, right? Is that going to get one? Or is this now more development in Tatum Paxley's character, and she's going to just go absolutely crazy and end up really beating up Izzy Dame here? Could go either way. I'm going to go Tatum, though.
I'm going to go Tatum just because she lost that title, and there seemed to be such excitement in her getting it that I feel like there's going to be more development for her going.
All right, let's get to one of the first challenges. Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. We got Sol Ruca, Lola Vice, Kalani Jordan, Jordan Grace, and Kendall Gray. Now, at the end of NXT, who's Sol Ruca's partner there? They've been fighting a lot lately.
Zarya.
She ended up spearing Kendall Gray, and I thought maybe they'll do some kind of thing where, Kendall gets out, Zarya gets put in. We'll see if that happens. But if that happens, I'm going to say that, no, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to go Sol Ruca. I'll say Sol Ruca pulls this off, actually.
It's not a bad pick. I'm kind of caught up between her and Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
Jordan Grace doesn't necessarily need the win. I don't think Sol Ruca needs the win either, but Sol Ruca would benefit a little more from it than Jordan Grace.
That's what I said.
I'm thinking Sol Ruca, and if I'm wrong, it's going to be Kendall Gray.
Kendall Gray would be the shocker, right? So you could go in after. All right, men's Iron Challenge, Survivor Challenge here. We got Jervon Evans, Leon Slater, which I think would be awesome if he won, having the TNA X Division champion win this. I don't think that's going to happen. But Joe Hendry, Dion Lennox, and Miles Bourne. I think even though they've been trying to do a good job building up Dion, with Darkstay and Miles, I think you can get rid of those guys. That's not happening. So really, I guess I got to think who's going to win the main event, Oba Femi or Ricky Saints. But really, the only heel here is Dion Lennox. So that's kind of interesting in itself there. I'm going to ignore all that for now, and I'm going to go Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry finds a way to get this one and caps off a big year for himself.
Joe Hendry, not a bad pick. If we're going to compare it like we did to the women's Iron Survivor, Joe Hendry doesn't necessarily need it. I would love to see Javon Evans, but Javon also doesn't need it. They've been given this weird push to Dark State, and you mentioned Dion Lennox is the only heel.
Yes.
I feel like it's going to be Dion Lennox no matter how much I hate it.
I guess I just don't want to believe. I want to believe in Joe Hendry. Main event, Ricky Saints, Oba Femi. I thought this was probably going to be Oba's swan song, But I also find it interesting that Oba, unlike a lot of people, he kind of left and then just came back. Was there a reason for that? Is Oba just coming back because maybe Oba was only taking time off and they didn't know and he was never supposed to drop the title and Oba's going to win? Is he? I don't know. But nonetheless, I'm going to go Ricky Saints.
I would be wildly surprised if Ricky Saints didn't win. This feels weird to have this match again because it's kind of like we've been talking about with Trick Williams. It feels like Oba is, done with NXT. It feels like he's ready for the main roster, but he hasn't gone there yet. I believe they said something like Oba never got his rematch against Ricky after he lost the title. So I guess in that sense, it makes sense. But either way, Ricky Saints is leaving champion, and this is going to be another great Deadline event. And that is the end of the regular show, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for putting up with all the changes. Thank you for the 3-week wait in a new episode coming. I knew it really burned your ass, but what doesn't burn your ass is this great word from an author we worked with. And after that, we will get to some exclusive Patreon bonus talk.
Ooh.
Read about the Northern Wrestling Federation in the book presented by Russellville.com, The Pro Wrestling Vault, Volume 2. Hear the story of Roger Ruffin, the man who trained Carl Anderson, the Monster Abyss, Jordan Clearwater, Chris Harris, and Jillian Hall.
Plus 45 other short stories, including Jazz, Bobby Eaton, Kamala, Thunder Rosa, Mario Mancini, Scott Casey, PJ Black, Kerry Morton, Sal Renaro, Jeremiah Plunkett, Colby Carino, Bam Bam Malone, and many others.
Get your book today at Russellville.com. Russellville. It's where wrestling lives.